So, medium wheelbase, 4-berth, simply surf bus crafter. This vehicle, Atek pop top, so sleeps 2 in the roof, 2 single seats in the front, both on factory swivels, and then a Mobi Frame double seat with adjustment so you can open it up. Let's start running you around the van. A couple of bits and pieces we've had in styling. So the Van X little headlamp eyebrows, that was the first set. We test fitted them from under the bonnet. So I popped the bonnet from inside, obviously. Tucked up under the bonnet, we've got your 240 inlet and a 240 outlet. So if you're sat there and want to just power something else, funny enough, at a couple of events with this van, because it was our demo, although we've completely rebuilt it, I was in a van without 240, so Ben piggybacked me, so I had hookup because the campsite didn't have, or the racetrack, funny enough, didn't have a hookup, so Ben powered me from his lithium in the back of this, so I could have everything in it. Swivels. So, when we ordered the van brand new, factory swivels, we've retrimmed these in Napa leather in our LP design. But the factory swivel seat, it is better than anything in the market. If you're ordering a brand new one of these, tick that box. Bulkhead delete, factory swivel seats. Literally, pull the lever, spin the seat. I'll dive around the other side, then we'll video us. Other side gets a little bit trickier, because it needs to have a steering wheel. But again, the other side, pop the lever, adjust the seat slightly if you have to, put the steering wheel in, basically span round. It will slide back a little bit, so you can adjust them so you're sat closer or further away, but that is your factory swivel. Oh, I lied, it's a double rear seat. This is made by Mobi Frame, great bit of kit, couple of great features, simple lever. You can just separate them up, so for travelling, if you're slightly bigger in the shoulder, widen them up, but then slide them back together, so you can walk through to the kitchen. We've modified the base of this and put in a big drawer, pulling out. This is a slightly deeper drawer because of the raised floor. So that's half of it. And then tucked underneath here, we have another drawer. And then utilising the raised floor, because this is a 2-wheel drive, we just put some storage underneath the floor as well. Next bit, the table. So, in here, take the little cap out, rotate that, and spin the screw back down. Someone's undone it further than normal. Lock that off. There's your table leg, and then stowed on the side here. We have a table. So sat here, give it a tap down. I didn't slide the seat back when I span it round, so we'll just do that now. So, table here. Also, with this table, if you're cooking, because this is a medium wheelbase, it's not the biggest van in the world, you can just rotate the table round. It gives you a little bit more worktop space, just be able to put things down whilst you're cooking. So, the table. Table for over here. Stowed away behind the Mobi Frame seat. Just very simply, quick turnbuckle, tip it over, and out it comes. We've made it as big as we can, so careful as you lift it out. Quite simply, sit back down. Button on the side, I remember now. Spin that over, pop it onto the rail, and then on the back of them, there's 2 little catches. I've only done one of them, but just for a demo. And it's a telescopic leg. So you can just set the height, dead level, or slightly sloped when you're with your clumsy mate that always fills his drink. At least it runs off on the floor, not on your lap. This table also, undo the 1 clip, obviously 2 clips. It's designed so we can take it outside. So when barbecuing, etc., pop it on there. Do the clamps up, telescopic leg. Obviously, again, I've never found a flat campsite, so having the telescopic leg means if there's a dip where the leg falls, you can set your height. So, indoor-outdoor table. I'm going to start on the inside here. When we get into the technical control panel and stuff, Ben's a bit of a wizard, so he'll probably do that bit, but let's just talk our way through. So, we've got down the side here, USBs, so when the seats are swiveled, anyone can be sat charging their phone. Also have 240 And if you had an extra cool box or something, you can plug that into there. So, light switches. Outside awning light. Front half of the lighting inside the vehicle, we set this what we call upstairs, downstairs, although actually it's back and front. But basically we can turn it off here and then go to the back of the van, turn it back on, or vice versa. When you go to bed, you can turn your lights off. So upstairs, downstairs lights. The fridge, and I'm now stood here racking my brains. This is a 70-litre slimline fridge because we had to make this unit thin enough that you had room to fit through here. So slimline fridge with freezer drawer. Easy dial, nice bit of kit. The door can be hinged either way, so with an adjustment it can open out. We believe this is the right way because you're cooking there, but if a customer wants to be able to just get beer outside. Up on top, double induction hob. So double induction hob, very straightforward. Turn it on, turn up and down, it's like you have at home. Next bit down. Because of limited space, what we do in the worktop, our sink has a chopping board or a bit of worktop in there. So sink, hot and cold water at the tap, in there. Going down, drawer. That's the controller for the Max fan, not a Max fan. The recirculating fan, I'll get it right in a minute. In there, and a bracket, depends if someone wants to mount it or not. And then below, large storage cupboard with a shelf. Tucked in over here, again, extra space when you're cooking. We put a big chopping board into this drawer, so actually as you're cooking, you've got another area you can put stuff down. Pop out your chopping board, then cutlery dividers and storage in the drawer. Below that, storage cupboard, but with the feature that the toilet is stowed in here now. For the shower, I've always found a shower inside a toilet inside a small shower doesn't give you enough room to stand there. So we make the toilet so you can just pop it out, slide it in the cupboard. Big storage space on top of there. And a quick spin round into the shower. So roll door, all done. Right inside the shower. Printed picture in this one for the customer. Bamboo shower tray so you're not stood in your slops. Using a gulper, so that will literally just suck the water away into the waste tank underneath. Hot and cold. Yeah, and a fan in the wall, which we'll run into, but quite straightforward. So, Atek pop top. Lots of people know we're quite well known for this. We've fitted hundreds of them. Actually, hundreds is probably a lie, but probably 100 of them. We put it up. We've rolled down the screens on the front, so you've got full mesh. But the canvas will also unzip completely and drop to the ground. So you can have full open sky. That's a proper double bed up there. It's not a Mickey Mouse little pop top that you get in a transporter, although we fit a lot of them, they're good. That is really comfy, proper mattress. We haven't cut the roof out, just a hatch hole. Ladder for it is stowed in the boot. And literally pull it down and clamp it down with these clamps. But very straightforward, and we'll run through that. If you're having one fitted, we'll do a full handover of it, which we'll be doing with the customer for this van a little later. Bed. Again, it's a medium wheelbase. It's not the world's biggest bed, but 4 foot wide, so wider than the average transporter. Simple ladder, locked in the front, just to get up onto it. We've added some features, so we've got reading lights above the bed. So these are snake lights, so you can sit and read. In the base of them, they have USBs, so you can charge your phone. Dead straightforward. And then the rear screen there, that can unzip. That works as the curtain, but also a little bit of insulation, but can unzip so you can look out your back windows when you wake up in the morning. Storage lockers. So soft close hinges in there. Got a storage locker here, and then the same size just behind the bed. So simple clothing can be packed away in there. Also above the cab. I've never been a fan for a cab locker here. I've hit my head on it too many times when I go and sit in the front. I like it to be open, so no cab locker, but it has got the storage space up here for bits and pieces. In the back, this customer's gone for the Cold Hill Customs ladder and spare wheel carrier. Personally, I don't know if it needs a ladder on it because you can't go on the roof, but looks really cool. Spare wheel matching the set that's on the vehicle. Tailgate, barn doors. On gas struts. Just gave us more room than the lock-in arms. Changed the hinges to the 90-degree rotate. Added some storage on the back doors, a couple of hooks, storage bags up the top. Again, the roll-up rear curtain. Awning winder clipped into the side. This customer has 2 fold-up bicycles that's got a travel in it, but for ease, just pop 2 crouches, pull out the drawer, easy to load, unload. Up the top of the bulkhead, I'll put the light on. Just a maintenance hatch so we can get into any plumbing or anything if needs be doing up there. In this side, we have 100 litres of fresh water, all plumbed in obviously. Tucked down in the cavity here, we have the hot water. So the hot water tank is based behind the shower in this gap. And then pumps and everything all plumbed through. And over on this side, the power cupboard. So 460 amp hour Roma battery. It has a 3000 watt inverter charger, that's a Victron, and all Victron components all cabled out. So if you can't find a campsite you plug into, it works itself. We have solar on the roof. It all depends. People say, oh, how long is it going to last? Well, it means how long you're going to have the lights on, how many cups of tea you're going to make, how much you're going to cook. Is the fridge on full power? How long it's going to last is an impossible question. But it's got a lot of power. I would expect, I don't know, we've been off-grid and we've piggybacked mine for a weekend racing the cars and not thought about it, the power stays there. So 460 amp hour, fed through from the solar, all the 240 fuses, all set up in the back there. Water. On this one, undo the cap, stick the hose in. If there's 2 of you, you can keep an eye on the level. We always pinch the hose a little bit. You can send it spraying everywhere. Just try not to overfill it. I always have a towel cloth or something here, just in case I'm clumsy. But that's your water fill. Underneath the back here, so in this one, we've got a simple hose lock, so cleaning down your wellies and bits and pieces. Tucked underneath the back bumper, we have a hose lock fitting, and that's pressurised for washing off your boots and bits and pieces. And then coming around the side, you always shut that door first. Down the side here, to drain your waste, very simple tap on the side here. Just turn that, I'm not going to do it inside the showroom. And that's your waste. Very simple, very straightforward. The awning. Little bit of advice. I see too many people that don't peg their awnings down. In your kit, you have the awning pegs, peg it down. If it looks like it's going to be a real windy night, they do go dum, dum with the wind. Wind the thing in. They're dead easy to wind in. So, shut the door. Just stops you catching the edge of it. What I do if I'm doing this on my own, normally there's 2 people, I move my legs just at a little bit of an angle so it's still supporting it because there's a lot of weight hanging out there. The winder is extendable. Pop it into the slot on the top and start winding. So I wind the first stage until my legs are a little bit of an angle, then I'll just stop. Take the winder out. I've seen them flapping around and dinking the side of the van. So just take the winder out, lift the legs back in. If there's 2 of you, you can just fold the legs away and one of you just hold it until it's wound in. But he's holding the camera, so I'm doing the winding. Now, as a short person, at this point, I need to actually put the winder down, fold the legs up, it will support itself. So on the leg, got a very simple plastic lever. Pop the lever down, and the leg will then just retract up. Slide it up inside. What I always do is just put one finger up just to support it. Slide it in, fold the end in flat, and push it round. That's one side done. Just one to the other side. Pop it round, slide it up inside, flip the end round that way. As you come in, just support it a little bit, fold that round. Haven't shrunk it enough. There we go. Wound it back in. And just push the end in and that locks it in at the other end. So as I said, awning self-supporting there, but if there's two of you, just support it. There's no point putting extra strain on things. The world doesn't last forever, but they're pretty damn good. I've regularly had a problem getting these to come out. You have to push it up and rotate it to come out. I've sat here and gone, it's cold, it's windy. Just take your time, push up, rotate to declip it, and then undo the catch, slide it in, pop it away in the boot.
Hi, so you're back with Ben on the technical side of things now, back in this medium wheelbase crafter, and I'm going to go through all of the electrics, try and simplify things as we go along. Now we're looking at the the GX Touch 50 screen here. We've got lots of rings showing us various information. It's all quite self-explanatory once you sort of learn this setup. So you can see that we've got 81% battery. That's the battery life of the Roma 460. Then you can see the fresh water and wastewater. So we've got 34% fresh left. And wastewater, well, we've only dribbled a bit in there, so we haven't even raised the sender on there. Over to the right hand side, this one here, 114 watts. That's power going out, so we can see what we're using. And that currently, the bubble hot water system is sat in the background, just keeping the water at 70 degrees at the moment. And the lights are on. So we just flick this switch here. We'll see the wattage drop down. There we go, drop down to 60 watts. Now this light switch is connected to our upstairs downstairs lights. The light switch being the bottom one there. Just turn those lights back on. As you'll see, as we turn these off, the lights split. We remain the bedroom lights on. These are controllable through the touchscreen here. So we just tap the screen to wake it up again. We get a few more functions here. And go to the top right hand, the two squares above them. Gives us a few more options here. Now we're going to look on the right hand side and it shows bedroom lights. Now these are dimmable, just by sliding the bar across. And back up again, there we go. Or we can just flick them off altogether. Down here, floating lights, we're currently off at the moment. Just turn them to on. Then we have some low level ambient lights. Flick these back off, turn the bedroom back on. And also in this screen, you can see the GX internal relay number 2, which is currently on. This is the water pump. Now this is what's pressurizing the water system. So at the moment, if I lift the tap on, lift the lever on this tap here in the kitchen sink, we will have water. Now you can hear the pump just kicking in the background there. And the other noise just in the background is the gulper. That is helping take the wastewater from here and sending it to the waste tank. Now, obviously with the pressure of the water currently always there, if you did hit the tap with the cover in, we'd be sending water everywhere. So what we do when we're not using the vehicle, we're travelling, we turn the relay off and then we'll run the tap to take out the pressurised water. And basically just draining the system to the tap now. There we go, just getting the last dregs out. Now, if we did accidentally hit the tap lever whilst we're driving with loading up the vehicle, whilst the cover was over the sink, we're not going to disperse water all over the place, flooding your van. Same with the shower. The shower, there will be some water in this pipe, so if we ran the system now, water would come out until it's absolutely drained, and then we're safe. But we're in a shower, so it's a wet room, so we're not going to worry about that. Just down here is the light switch to the shower. We've got a fan. We press the lever in at the top and push it out. The fan is now open, and the fan will actually turn on when you operate the shower. So you just pull this lever here, the fan will turn on and extract out all your steam. And then when you turn the shower off, your fan will turn off. And then when you're all done with your shower, and you just want to lock off any cold air from coming inside, just pull the lever back in towards you. And that'll close off the actual vent from the outside. So that was our water and the lights within this function here. We'll just go back from there and go back to this main screen. Now we do have 240 in this vehicle. We have an inverter, a 3000 watt inverter, to power the induction hob and sockets and the other 240 side of the hot water system to really bring up the heat a lot faster. We're currently turned off at the moment at the 240, so our screen's just gone back, taken away the extra icons. We'll touch the screen again. Go to the top left with the two oval sections, and now we've got the inverter charger, and you can currently see it is off. If we press where it says off, it gives us an option. We turn it to on and press set. We can go back from there. The 240 is now on. We just had a beep there. That was the induction hob that's recognising 240 power. We can press the power button. Nothing's going to come up to any temperature until we actually put an induction pan on there. So now we've got 240 throughout the van. We're not hooked up. We're solely off of the leisure battery. Now, if you went to the socket underneath the engine bay, which we'll just go to now, like we spoke about earlier in one of the previous videos, we've got an input there on the left hand side. So if you're at a campsite, you're plugging into that socket there. Now the system will recognise you plugging into the campsite and will take power from the campsite and then in turn actually charge your leisure battery. So you'll then see power on here on this top one. It'll show power coming in and your battery percentage will be going up, whilst you're also using 240 to power the hot water or any other appliance of 240. Your Basto diesel night heater. Now if we just press the rotary dial in the middle, we'll wake up the screen. There is a fast way to turn on and turn off the diesel heaters. We can press and hold the power button for a second and a half. It'll then go green and the diesel heater will start running. If you did press and hold this and turn the heater on, just allow the heater run, get to its full cycle and run it for a good 10 minutes. If you accidentally turned it on, don't try and immediately turn it off because you will flood the system with diesel. So we're just going to open up the Basto and press the button in the middle there. Heating, you can press it again, select your temperature, press it again, and the heater will fire up. Once it's been running, it's got to its temperature, you can turn it off yourself by pressing the power button. A second and a half, it'll go from a green light back to a white light. You'll hear the fans running in the background for a little longer after you've turned it off. This is just to allow the system to cool down. So we're now looking at the Bubble Van controller. This is the hot water system, which is in this vehicle. It's got a 15 litre storage tank, which is, we've currently set it to hold the water about 70 degrees. So if we just go through the options here, go to menu, we can see hot water is at 73 degrees, so there it shows our battery status. We press the menu again, DC. So our 12 volt system is currently turned off. It's not keeping the water at that temperature, so whatever the temperature is there, it will start decreasing in time. So we can just select and turn that to on, and the element within the system will now come on and keep the hot water at our desired temperature. We can go back through other menus here. We can see the current temperature is 73 when we set our target at 75. So that was turned off yesterday. We've left it through the night. It's only dropped a couple of degrees through the night, which is really good. We'll carry on and go through the menus here. The elements, we don't need to change any of these. Our set point is 12.8. So we'll just flick through all of these settings here. We can just leave that turned on in the background. So if you did see a big battery drain and you wanted to save a bit of energy, you would go back through and come back to here and turn that to off